Okay, so y'all know how I love using the Canteen Cup for Canteen Cup cooking on the trail and every place else. But one thing that comes along with using the Canteen Cup is the Canteen Cup Stove. And what I want to show you is a little modification that I use. It's not a modification to the stove, but it's a little device that I thought of to make cooking with the Canteen Cup Stove a lot easier. So let's get on the workbench of death and check that baby out. Okay, here we got Old Faithful, and we got Old Faithful's Canteen Cup Stove. You know, when the soldiers got these, they got it as an integrated unit, and the Canteen Cup Stove is nothing but a flimsy piece of metal, and this will bend, and it's made to either put in a fire like that, okay, and put it over the coals of the fire, and then you put whatever you want in the cup, and you just put the cup on top of it like that. And it's got some ventilation holes to let air in, and it's got the bigger hole in the back where you can feed more sticks and stuff in. But the only problem with that is just exactly what I did. When you lift the cup up, a lot of times it sticks to the stove, and that's not that great of a proposition. You can try to turn the stove around so the little kidney's in the back, and then put the little kidney of the canteen cup in the front and try to match it. It kind of stays up, you know, not too good. It'll probably fall down if you try it that way, or you could do it the diagonal method. Now that'll work, especially if you're using like Esbit tablets or something like that. Okay, love those Coughlin's little fuel tablets. This will work just fine. However, I like using alcohol stoves. Okay, and I got a few alcohol stoves that I made up that I use quite a bit. This is just a regular old beer can stove. And, you know, you can make them out of beer can, Coke can, whatever kind of can. Some guys make them the bigger ones that are bigger around. But here's just a standard beer can stove. And I made one specifically that I use with the Canteen Cup Stove. And it's a smaller one. This is only about 1.25 inches in diameter. And you can see that it's much smaller than that one. If you try to use the big stove, you know, you put the Canteen Cup Stove on there, it doesn't give you very much room. I mean, the flame goes more around the sides of the cup and doesn't hit the bottom. Whereas if you put the smaller 1-inch size down, you know, it's got a lot more room to let the flame blossom out, and it hits the bottom of the cup better. However, there's putting the cup diagonal like this isn't the greatest way. I've seen some guys that'll actually drill some holes here, 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 and here, and they'll use like a piece of hanger wire and they'll put it through. I don't want to drill no holes because I'm too lazy and it's too hot. So the easiest way is to take these goofy little stakes, you know, like if you buy a canopy or something or a tent, they always give you these useless stakes. Well, here's about the only thing that they're useful for. You take the stake, put it there, take the other stake, put it there. You don't got to drill no hole or nothing. And then you take your cup, bam. And what do you got? You got a nice space around the whole works, okay? A nice space for air to go and for the flame to go. If you want to turn it around and put the little kidney there and to match this side, it doesn't fall down in the canteen cup. So that's method number one. Just carry a couple little goofy little stakes with you, okay? I wanted to be a little snappy, and I decided to get myself a piece of hanger wire, and I made something like this. I don't know if you can see that, but this is just a piece of bent hanger wire, okay? And the dimensions of this, all I did is just figure out what I needed and just bend it in a vise or a pair of pliers. This is about 1 inch there, This side's about 1 3/8 inches. And the whole length is about 3.5 inches. And how this works is, without drilling any holes, you got these little tabs on this side. That end goes right through there. And then you just kind of bend this in a little bit. And you hook it under this side of the canteen cup. Now you do the same thing for the other side. Put that side in there, bend it, and just hook it on the other side. Now you can bend your stove out because these things are very flexible. Okay? Now you got something that looks like that. And from this side, something that looks like that. It's hooked with these little tabs, so it's not going anywhere. Now, you got something you can work with. You can kind of bend these out and make your stove stand wider, or you can bend them in and make it narrower. So we're just going to do it even. Okay, even Steven. Here's the little kidney. Here's our canteen cup. Bam! It sets right on top. These will actually fit inside the canteen cup, so you can carry it inside your canteen cup. This goofy little stake, well, I guess it'll fit too, but it don't fit that great. These are really, really easy. You just take them out, okay? Those fit right in the bottom of the canteen cup. And then you say, oh, well, Matt, you bet your canteen cup stove, this thing will bend. All you do is you just force it back onto the bottom of the cup. Okay? Make sure you get it around this side. It engages with this side of the handles, and you force it up there, and you rebend it. Bam. There you go. I don't know whether that's a solution to a problem or a useless solution to a non-problem, but it really makes cooking on my canteen cup with alcohol fuel much, much easier. Like I said, you can either use these little stakes, or you can use my cool little pre-made coat hanger supports. And I just cut 2 of them. Cost 0. Fun factor 10. Okay, what did we learn today? Okay, what did we learn today? We learned that it's about 112 degrees and I'm sweating to death out here. But really, really cool. If you want to try this modification, and it's actually not a modification to the canteen cup stove, it's all you're doing is bending a piece of hanger wire. If you don't want to do that, you can easily use a couple of these little goofy little stakes that you get that you think are good for nothing, but they're really, really useful if you want to do some cooking on a canteen cup stove, either with or without alcohol. This is like a little 1 1/4 inch alcohol stove, and it works great with canteen cup. Only holds about 1 ounce of fuel, but it burns hot as the sun for like, I don't know, 6.5 minutes. So that's just a little tip on how I use my canteen cup stove. It's just a little tip of the trade and cooking with my canteen cup stove. This is Matt, the old Florida boy, and I will see you on the trail.